You can sew almost anything into the canvas of a coat. When I was a boy, I started to hide things in the linings of the garments. Things that only I knew were there. Secrets.
Good morning.
Will you have dinner with me?
Yes.
I feel as if I've been looking for you for a very long time.
You look beautiful. Very beautiful.
I have things I want to do. Things I simply cannot do without you.
Reynolds has made my dreams come true, and I have given him what he desires most in return. Every piece of me.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. In my previous blog, I talked about the Oscar nominations, and one of the categories I mentioned was the award for Best Original Score. I noted that it's great to see Jonny Greenwood nominated for his work on Phantom Thread. Now, you probably haven't seen Phantom Thread yet, but it's a really great Paul Thomas Anderson film with a fantastic score by Jonny Greenwood, which is front and centre all the way through. It's one of those movies in which you're really conscious of the music playing a very, very big part in doing some of the dramatic heavy lifting. It's a great piece of work. It's brilliant to see Jonny Greenwood nominated. And I think he has a chance of winning, although it's a year in which it's very likely that Hans Zimmer will win for Dunkirk, because that Dunkirk score got such a lot of attention, and it is an extraordinary piece of work. However, the best thing about Jonny Greenwood getting nominated is this: it kind of rights a wrong from many years ago. Jonny Greenwood has done lots and lots of film scores. He's worked with Paul Thomas Anderson several times before. He worked with him on The Master, he worked with him on Inherent Vice. He's recently scored Lynn Ramsey's You Were Never Really Here, and he did brilliant work on a film called Norwegian Wood, which I think sometimes gets overlooked, but I know Jonny Greenwood is very proud of it. However, most significant is the fact that Jonny Greenwood did a brilliant score for There Will Be Blood back in, I think it was 2008. And the only reason he didn't get nominated for an Oscar was that he was disqualified on a technicality, and it was the most technical of technicalities. Here's the description. Under Rule 16 of the Academy's Special Rules for Music Awards, it was excluded under the ruling that scores diluted by the use of tracked themes or other pre-existing music were not eligible. Now, the score that he put together contained 35 minutes of original recordings, and then there was 46 minutes of pre-existing work, including selections from Arvo Part and pieces in the public domain. There was also peripheral augmentation to the score, including sporadic but minimal use of Jonny Greenwood's 2008 composition, Popcorn Superhet Receiver, which was a 20-minute work which had been performed before. So essentially, what they said was, your work was brilliant, but some of your work had appeared elsewhere, and some of the work in the film is by other people, which augments and therefore dilutes your work. Consequently, you're not eligible. Now, that wrong was righted to some extent by the awarding of a Kermode Award, which I was very proud to give Jonny Greenwood all those years ago, because everybody knew that not only should he have been nominated, but frankly, he should have won. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm hosting a live performance of the new score for The Phantom Thread, which is at the Royal Festival Hall with Jonny Greenwood and Paul Thomas Anderson in attendance. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I think there is a chance, there is some Oscar momentum behind this, that actually Jonny Greenwood might just sneak that award away from Hans Zimmer. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that he's finally got the nomination that he should have got 10 years ago. He should have been nominated for There Will Be Blood. He should have won an Oscar for There Will Be Blood. Finally, Jonny Greenwood is the Oscar-nominated Jonny Greenwood, and it's not a moment too soon.
Whatever you do, do it carefully.